Hi everyone, it's Erin from the Provincial Farmhouse. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing some kitchen thrift flips using the new IOD and Jami Ray Vintage stencils. You can find a full product list in the description of this video and all your crafting needs on our website, theprovincialfarmhouse.com.au. Let's get started. Our first project is this wooden cutting board that I think I picked up for about $1. My first step is to clean it thoroughly with Dixie Belle's White Lightning. This is a deglosser and a degreaser, and this is going to get it to be a great base for crafting, and then I'm going to rinse off my cleaner. I'm then going to decant some of Dixie Belle's Tobacco Road Voodoo Gel stain, and I'm going to cover the entire cutting board with this stain and wipe back any excess. I want to deepen the tone and give this more of a French country look. To get the tone that I want, I'm going to have to apply 2 coats. When that's dry, I'm going to seal the entire board with Dixie Belle's Gloss Clear Coat. I'm then going to be using IOD's new Millow's Pages transfer, and this is 8 pages of beautiful botanical style designs. There is so much to choose from in this pack, and for today, however, I am going to be using the vegetables, but as you can see, there is a lot to choose from in this pack, so you are really spoilt for choice. I thought that the vegetables would look great on this and go perfect in a kitchen, so I'm removing the whole page and then I'm trying to work out how I want it to sit. Now, I don't want to just put on a big page of the design. I don't want to waste this transfer, so instead I'm going to individually cut out the pieces that I want to have on my cutting board and arrange them. This is a bit of a fiddly transfer. Everything is quite close together, so I definitely recommend some smaller scissors so that you can move around the smaller designs, but it's definitely worth it so that you can make the transfer go across multiple projects. There's not really a right or wrong way to go about this if you're going to give it a try. I just went with groupings of 2 or 3, and I also thought about colours. I wanted some green, but I also wanted some orange and some yellows just to have a bit of interest, and then I'm also trimming out some of the lettering down the bottom. Now I'm ready to start transferring my image, so I've taken the backing off, I'm pressing the image down, and then I'm going to start burnishing each of the transfers with the transfer stick that comes in your pack. So you can see I am rubbing it, but I'm also lifting the plastic as I go. This definitely helps your design to release, and if you miss a spot, don't panic, just put it back down and start rubbing again. I'm sure I'll probably have people asking me how can you then use this in a kitchen, but honestly this is just going to be a decor piece. I will be sealing this, but I would not recommend this to be used with anything hot, so I definitely think that it will lean up against a kitchen backsplash or hang on a wall and look pretty. Next, I'm sealing my entire board with Dixie Belle's Gloss Clear Coat. And here's our finished chopping board decor piece. I had a lot of fun using the new Millow's Pages transfer. There are so many beautiful designs to choose from here. Let me know what you think of this project in the comments. Our second project is this wooden rolling pin. It cannot be used in the kitchen. It has lots of dents and things in it, so it's not food safe. So we're going to turn it into a decor piece. First, I'm going to give it a good clean, and then I'm grabbing that Tobacco Road gel stain again, and I am going to stain the entire rolling pin. And I just love how the stain has settled into all of the imperfections and aged look of this rolling pin. It is perfect. So before I stain any raw wood pieces, I do tend to mist it with a mister so that the stain is able to be absorbed more evenly. I also like to add a little bit of water to my water-based gel stains. When that's dry, I'm going to come in with Dixie Belle's Cashmere Limited Edition Chalk Mineral Paint. This is a beautiful yellow toned cream, and I'm just applying it to each of the handles, and you can see I'm not being super careful to get full coverage. I actually love the chippy look that the original texture is showing here. I'll be doing 2 coats of this on each of the handles. Next, I'm going to be using IOD's new La Campagne stamp. This is 2 pages of beautiful French country inspired stamps. There are so many possibilities here. It's hard to pick which one to use. I thought about the sweet little lamb, and then I also thought about the little mother hen with her chickens, and I was just trying to decide between the two. In the end, I decided on the mother hen, so you can see I am cutting out the stamp. I do prefer to do that, but I am going to have to curve this around a curved surface, so I have taken it off the backing, and now I'm using IOD's permanent ink to ink up my stamp. Once I have enough of the black ink on my stamp, I am going to tidy up any areas where I got ink where I shouldn't, including my fingers, because I will get that on my project if I don't do that. Now I'm going to very carefully turn my stamp over, and I'm going to position it in the center, and I'm just going to curve the stamp around, and once I've pressed down, I am holding it in place and just distributing pressure over the entire stamp surface to make sure that I get a good impression. It's really important that once you've pressed down that you do not shift or move your stamp, or it will get smudged. Next, I'm going to carefully pull my stamp away, and as you can see, we've got a pretty good image there. Did go a little bit heavy in one area, but that's fine. I am going to clean off that stamp, and then now I'm going to add some more of her little chicks. These are very fine pieces, but I still need to curve it around a curved surface, so I am going to do it without the backing, and I'm going to carefully press this little chick down, and I am applying some pressure, and I did notice that when I pulled it away there was a little bit missing, but that's okay. I just went back in, lined it up, and pressed it in the area I missed and managed to fix it. I'm going to repeat the same process with the other little chick on the other side. Once I'm finished, I'm going to make sure that all my stamps are clean, and I'm going to allow this to dry. I want to give this more of a weathered look, so I'm coming in with some medium grit sandpaper, and I'm working my way around the handles of the rolling pin and just giving it a bit of a distressed look here. So I'm going to do that to each of the handles, and then I am also going to lightly distress the center of the rolling pin, make the stamps look a little bit more aged as well. And I'll then use a wet wipe to wipe off the dust. Finally, I'm going to seal the whole rolling pin with gloss clear coat. And here's our finished rolling pin. I really enjoyed doing this project. I think it's great to take something that would otherwise be discarded and turn it into beautiful kitchen decor. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. Our final project is this little wooden kitchen cupboard. It also has an attachment for holding paper towel. My first step is to clean this really well with Dixie Belle's White Lightning. It was quite grubby, so it definitely needed a wipe down, and as you can see, I am able to remove that little rod for the paper towel. Next, I'm using Dixie Belle's Endless Shore Silk Mineral Paint. I'm sorry guys, I forgot to turn on the camera when I started this, so I have already painted the little drawer, and as you can see, I'm midway painting the center there. I'm also going to be using around the outside Dixie Belle's Cactus Silk Mineral Paint. So these both have stain blockers built into them, so I was a little bit worried about this wood having some bleed through, so this is really going to save me that extra step. I am really loving these two colours together. I think they are a lovely combination. When you're using Dixie Belle's Silk Mineral Paint, it's definitely a good idea to use a synthetic brush so that you have minimal brush strokes, and it's also a good idea to make sure that you apply your coats and have several hours in between so that they have plenty of time to dry and so that that stain blocker has plenty of time to do its job. It's going to take 3 coats to do the Endless Shore sections because this is such a dark wood, but I only needed to do 2 coats of the Cactus Silk Mineral paint. This has such beautiful coverage. I also decided to paint the back just in case this was sitting somewhere in a kitchen where you could see the back. I really wanted it to look completely finished. So guys, I just became a Jami Ray Vintage retailer and I have a select collection of their stencils, decoupage papers and brushes, and today we're going to be using the Grain Sack Mini Stencil. I'm using the Kroger design on the bottom of the little drawer first, so I am using some tape to hold it in place and another bit of tape to block off any of the writing that I don't want to come through. I'm then using one of the JRV stencil brushes with Dixie Belle's Umber Silk Mineral paint, and I'm dabbing and swirling the brush over the stencil while my other hand holds it in place. You always want to offload most of your paint off your brush. Less is definitely more in this situation. I'm working my way across the stencil, taking my time and applying the paint over the areas that I want. When I'm finished, I'm going to carefully pull the stencil up, and I love this design. Next, I decided that I was going to grab one of the other stencils from the pack. You get so many in this one. I'm going to use the American Mills, and I'm going to use what I think are the little wheat stalks on the side there, or they could just be leaves. I just decided that they would go really nicely with this design. So I am going to tape off any of the stencil that I don't want to use. Definitely keep in mind when you are doing stenciling that you don't have to use the stencil as is. You can take bits and pieces of the design and turn it into whatever you want. I've taped off what I don't want. I'm getting it in position, and then I'm going to repeat the same steps as before. I am using my stencil brush, offloading most of the paint, and then carefully dabbing and swirling my brush over the top of the design. I'm then going to clean off my stencil. I don't want any paint getting on my surface, so I'm cleaning that off with a wet wipe, and then I'm going to reposition the tape for the other side. I often like to stencil with Silk Mineral paint because it does have that built-in stain blocker, which means I do not have to come in and seal this. It's already done for me. When my stenciling is dry, I'm coming in with a fine grit sandpaper and distressing. I also decided to come in and paint the towel rod the same color as the exterior of the cupboard. I just thought it would tie in a bit better. I'm leaving the ends as that's the part that sits in the holder and I don't want to have any issues with it fitting. I'm also doing a little bit of distressing on the cupboard itself. And here's our finished kitchen cupboard. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I love JRV stencils and I can't wait to use them more. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video and that it's given you some ideas on how to use the new IOD release or JRV stencils. If you enjoyed today's projects, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up, a comment, and share it out to a friend that you think might enjoy it. If you haven't already, I would love it if you could hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of our videos. You can find all of the products used in today's video on our website, theprovincialfarmhouse.com.au. Thanks for watching.